Hello and welcome to 6 service behaviors to make members and guests feel a part of your club. All right, let's think about this. Regardless of your role at the club, your age, whether you're a veteran staff person or a novice in the club industry, there are 6 behaviors that you're going to want to master within 30 days to become a supreme service provider. And really to make all members, guests, and quite frankly, your coworkers really feel a part of the club rather than apart from the club. Let's discuss those now. Behavior number 1, very, very simple, is greeting everyone. Now, you might think that this is limited to reception staff only. It's not. Whether you are a group fitness instructor, whether you're a tennis pro, whether you are a personal trainer, whether you're a reception person, childcare, it makes no difference. Housekeeping makes no difference. Everyone that you cross paths with, you are going to initiate the greeting. So those that you're familiar with and those that you are unfamiliar with, which there's a lot more members that we're unfamiliar with than those we know. So the idea is for you to say hello to everyone. You're going to greet everyone. Say good morning to everyone's path that you cross, or good afternoon, or good evening. And you want to make sure that you do it with the same sense of warmth and the same sense of welcome. In other words, I refer to the people that you're familiar with. You're going to greet them in a very warm way. Same thing with the people you're unfamiliar with. We don't want anyone to feel excluded. So some of the elements of that behavior are going to include your tone of voice. You want to make sure that there's warmth in your tone, not monotone. Monotone sounds like you really don't care, but warmth sounds like you're excited to see them. It sounds like you are welcoming them. You also want to make sure that the expression on your face and then the expression on your posture matches what's coming out of your mouth and matches the tone that you're using when you're speaking. So make sure that your posture is erect, your shoulders are back, your head is up, you have a big smile on your face, you have warmth in your eyes, and you're looking directly into their eyes. You're not looking past them or through them, but you're looking into their eyes as you greet them. You're holding the gaze for just a moment when you speak to them. Okay, behavior number 2 is making sure that you're always being the gracious host. When we talk about being a host, again, regardless of our role, no matter what part of the club we work in, you are always going to make sure that you're there to make any member, any guest, or any other staff person feel welcome. You're going to take care of them. You're going to notice that they might need something, just as a host at a party might recognize that you need your drink filled, or you need something to eat, or maybe you'd like to meet some other people. You are going to constantly be on the lookout. You're going to anticipate members, guests, and coworkers' needs, and always look out for how you can help them before they come to you for help. So there's a certain part of initiating that goes along with being the host. Behavior number 3 is being attentive and inclusive with all people. So examples of being attentive and inclusive are inviting members to club functions, inviting them to come in and take class with you, inviting them to a party that we might have at the club, verbally saying something. Don't rely on the fact that we might have a beautiful poster, we might have something on our website or whatever it is, telling people about it. Our role is to make every member and every guest and every staff person feel a part of the club as opposed to apart from the club. So being attentive and inclusive assists with that behavior. Behavior number 4 is being patient with people. Now, you love fitness. You're passionate about it. You've chosen to be in this profession as part of your career. Now, what you have to understand is because of that, certain things are going to be much more intuitive to you than they would perhaps to a member or a guest. So we need to take time and be patient with explaining perhaps how things work. Now, we might be dealing with somebody who's much older. I'm sure we've noticed our members are getting older, even though we'd like to think that we're helping them get younger. We're all getting a little bit older, and maybe we don't move as quickly, or maybe we don't pick things up as quickly. So as a staff person, you need to recognize that people might not get what you're saying the first time. You might need to re-explain it in a little different way without saying, and like I said, or showing a sense of impatience. So remember, you always show a sense of patience and a sense of wanting to be there and help, not irritation. Our 5th behavior is being a day maker. Now, what being a day maker means is taking the time to slow it down and have a conversation with members when you can. Now, I acknowledge that certainly there are times in our clubs when it's Mach 5. It's crazy. You feel like you're in the weeds and you're doing just enough to keep your head above water. But there are also those times when it is not crazy busy, and that allows us to have a conversation and maybe find out a little bit more about a member and say to them, you know, I've seen you here for so many months and we have never formally met. My name is Karen, and you would extend your hand to them in greeting and a friendly handshake. and say, it's good to finally introduce ourselves. How's the club working for you? So slow it down, find out a little bit about them. By slowing it down and having a conversation, it shows that you're acknowledging them. You've noticed them. You might also want to be a day maker by taking a little extra time and saying, my goodness, I've noticed you wear red a lot, and red looks so good on you. Or you might want to say, I've noticed you wear red a lot. Did you happen to notice we have some great new red tennis skirts in the pro shop? My goodness, wouldn't that make them feel like you've acknowledged and you've noticed them? So being a day maker means you're simply taking the time to slow down and acknowledge someone, give them a little bit extra, and also perhaps do what I refer to as a ready act of kindness. In other words, take the time to do something that is going to acknowledge someone, give them a compliment, show a certain kindness to them, and you'll make their day. And I think you'll find that you make your day by doing it as well. Now, our sixth and final behavior in terms of being a supreme service provider is using a little bit of different language than you might use perhaps with your family or your friends or your peers. And it's called hospitality grammar, gracious grammar, if you might. Examples include that when you are greeting someone, rather than saying hey or hi, you're going to say welcome or good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's nice to see you again. So rather than just checking them in, we're welcoming them. When someone asks for help, rather than say sure, yeah, or okay, you're going to say I would be delighted to. You might see somebody that is looking like they might be a little bit lost, or maybe looks like they need a little bit of help. And rather than say, do you need anything? You would say, how may I assist you? As you introduce yourself by saying, hi, I'm Karen. I'm in the fitness department. What can I assist you with? You will also use phrases such as, let me help you, or I'll be happy to take care of that for you. Hospitality grammar, gracious grammar includes really giving the impression, because it's not just an impression, it's reality, that it's your pleasure to do something for someone. That's why you respond with my pleasure rather than no problem, or immediately when someone requests something. And when you respond with immediately or certainly, it denotes that what they said has some importance or has a sense of urgency to it. Now, I recognize that, again, as we mentioned earlier, you may not use these words in your normal everyday life, but it is important to use these phrases and deliver them in a professional manner. Why would that be? Well, think about it. Language creates a very, very strong feeling. Think about when somebody uses harsh language with you. We tend to maybe shut down a little bit, or when someone uses poetic language, it really touches us, and we really feel something different. It moves us. This language, the gracious grammar or the hospitality grammar, is designed to make members and guests feel that we're taking care of them with pleasure and that it really is important to us. So I'd like you to think about these 6 behaviors. And incorporating these behaviors and the grammar into your life may first feel a little bit awkward. In fact, you may feel like some of these things are a little inappropriate. But I assure you that none of these behaviors are inappropriate if you deliver them in a genuine and warm way. And it's never inappropriate to extend yourself at all. So by practicing and measuring these or mastering these behaviors, you're going to create such a sense of inclusion and a sense of attentiveness that'll soon become part of your personal service signature. And it really supports the brand of your club as well as your professional growth and achievement. Thanks for listening.